And welcome back to Breaking Earth. If this has randomly popped up on your feed, there's 2 previous episodes for this Uber tutorial. In part 1 we used Andrew Kramer's free ore plugin and his Earth textures, which we recentered so that the top of the sphere was on Switzerland and CERN. This then allowed us to create simple 2x1 precomps by which we were able to animate effects vertically. Anything at the top of the precomp disappeared into a point on the planet's surface. In part 2 we then set about destroying the surface, using the cell pattern effect to break everything up, and plenty of turbulent noise to generate planet-scale waves of particles. I've avoided using particles so far for a couple of reasons. When you use any simulation tools, you hand over a bit of control, and you need a lot of particles to show appropriate scale. Instead, by using turbulent noise, I get to fake the look, and the render times are unbelievably shorter. So let's get back to it. The first thing on the agenda, let's drain the ocean. In the surface precomp, select the oceans layer and tap T to expose the opacity. And at the 15-second mark, set a keyframe, and then to correspond this to the loss of atmosphere at 25 seconds, set a new keyframe to 0%. Now we see the original surface map, but it's got magma underneath. So it looks okay, but we're going to fade that out. So select the Earth diffuse layer and go to Effect, Color Correction, and for fun let's go with Colorama this time. Expand Output Cycle and select Sepia 2. And as we're still at 25 seconds, set a keyframe for Blend with Original, and then 10 seconds back, set the value to 100%. So the sepia-ness fades on to give us this sandy ocean bed. Okay, now to destroy the crust. Go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer, and make sure it's at the top of the comp. Go to Effect, Transition, Linear Wipe. Set the amount to 2%. Set the angle to 180 and the feather to 20. Switching back to the main comp for a moment, look what that does. It creates a void on the surface, which looks great, but we need to keyframe it. At 5 seconds, set linear wipe to 0%. And at 25 seconds, set it to 2%. Now go to Layer, New, Solid. And create a comp size solid and name it Gradient. And then go to Effect, Generate, Ramp. And then go to Effect, Noise and Grain, Turbulent Noise. Set the type to Dynamic Twist. Set the contrast to 300 and the brightness to 15. And in Transform, set the scale to 20. In the Effects Blending mode, set the type to Multiply. Turn off the layer's visibility. Back in the adjustment layer, go to Effect, Transition, Gradient Wipe. Set the gradient to our gradient layer with effects and masks. And keyframe the transition from 25 seconds to be complete at 45 seconds. Which looks okay, but a bit dull. So go to Effect, Transition, CC Scale Wipe. Set the amount to 2. And then at 25 seconds, set a keyframe for the center to be 1000 by 0. And at 45 seconds, set a keyframe to be about 500 pixels below the bottom of the comp. So we get this effect. Grab the linear wipe effect and drop it below the scale wipe so we keep our void. Back in the main comp, in the planet orb effect, in Material Advanced Options, keyframe the edge feather at 25 seconds to 35 seconds to go from 0 to 0.2. And finally, copy the gradient and adjustment layers to the illumination precomp so that those cracks behave in the same way. Okay, now for the mantle and core. I'm going to use 3D layers with turbulent noise on them. So before I do that, I'm going to set my camera move so this will inform the direction and shape of the layers. Create a new null object, make it 3D and name it blackhole null. And using the view controls, position it approximately where your black hole is. Expand your camera's transform controls and use the pick whip to link to the point of interest of this black hole null. And set a keyframe for the position, and later in the timeline fly your camera around. Make a new solid, make it 400 pixels by 400 pixels so the width matches the diameter of the orb, and make it 3D. Parent it to the black hole null, and in transform properties zero out the position and set the anchor to be 500 on the x-axis, and then go to Layer, Transform, Auto Orient, and choose Orient towards Camera. Drag this layer below the orb layer, and in its rotation controls tweak the Y rotation so that it's better lined up with the planet. And now solo this layer, and go to Effect, Generate, Circle, and set the radius to match the orb's radius, 200, and feather the outer edge. And set the type to Stencil Alpha. This gives us a cool looking edge later. Call this layer Debris. Then add a turbulent noise effect. Set the type to Small Bumps, the contrast to 110 and the brightness to 34. And for the evolution, add an expression time times 50. Duplicate this effect, either by Ctrl and D or by going to Edit, Duplicate. We're going to add some more detail. Change the type to Basic, contrast to 330, brightness to -50, and drop the scale to 15 or so. And set the effect's blending mode to Screen. And now, here's another neat trick. When everything is put together, the movement of the orb's surface will end up being a lot faster than the movement of the debris, which is right as we want that to fade off first. But to help blend this in, I'm going to match the speed using this second turbulent noise. But this might need a lot of adjustment, so to make life easier, I'm going to set a keyframe for the offset, and then a second one a few seconds later, moving all the detail to the right, to where the black hole is. Then holding Alt, I'll click on the stopwatch and type loop out, note the capital O, brackets, quotes, continue, close quotes and brackets. This will cause After Effects to keep the movement going at the same speed after the second keyframe. Now, if I bring back the orb sphere for a moment, all I have to do is move the second keyframe for timing until I'm happy that the speed matches. This use of offset does cause its own issue with something later on though, so to avoid that, set a keyframe for the effect's opacity at around 30 seconds and a second one to 0% at around 45 seconds. Next, go to Effect, Keying, Extract, and bring the black point up to punch gaps in this cloud. And set the black softness too. Now, rather than manually move the circle and offset value of the noise, I'm going to add a transform effect and keyframe the position to move the whole thing off the layer, as if it's being pulled into the black hole. So go to Effect, Distort, Transform, and set a position keyframe at 35 seconds, and then at 1 minute set a new one, having moved the X value up past 600. And right click on the initial keyframe and go to Keyframe Assistant Easy Ease Out. To make as if it's being squeezed, go to Effect, Distort, Bezier Warp. And at 30 seconds, set keyframes for the default values. At 45 seconds, drag in all the right points to create a funnel type shape. Now we can see the end result thanks to the transform effect. Select the circle effect and holding Ctrl tap D to duplicate it, and drag this below the Bezier Warp effect, so the circle acts as the layer's matte. And add a tritone effect with some nice earth colours. Duplicate this debris layer. Hit enter and rename it Core. Unsolo the debris layer. Turn off all the effects for a moment one by one. Drop the first circle's radius down to 150. For Turbulent Noise, set the type to Max, Contrast to 200, Brightness to 50. Delete the Extract and Tritone effects and add in Colorama. Set the output to Fire. Drag this above Transform, and then go to Effect, Stylize, Roughen Edges. Set the amount to 125 and expressionize the evolution. Yes, I'm bringing that back. Add time times 20. Re-solo the debris layer, and it's looking kinda okay, but we can do better. Go to Effect, Channel, Set Matte. Point it to the debris layer and Effects and Masks. This effect is using the debris layer's alpha channel, which is cool in itself, but we can make this better. Check Invert Matte, so now we only see the core layer as if it were behind the debris layer. But I'm going to add some light rays and I want these to appear on top of the debris. Now the debris field is a little thick. Rather than alter the extract value though, duplicate the debris layer and go to Effect, Matte, Matte Choker. And bring the choke 1 up to about 125. Back on the core layer, point Set Matte to the debris copy. And there, now we get this bleed through effect. Go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, CC Radial Fast Blur. And up the amount to 85, and then keyframe the center so that it moves over the black hole, but has started in the middle of the globe. And it's looking a little dim, so I added Video Copalette's free Color Vibrance effect to bring back that orange flame look. And that's it, you're done! Just add a 360 star field, which this tutorial shows you how to. This was epic. I'm sorry it's taken so long to cover, but there's so many different effects going on here. I hope you enjoyed it. I did, and it's given me lots of ideas. So you can expect to see more in a Breaking Earth playlist.